Hey people, you know who this is. You know why we're here. Kente Bates House Yard Fitness Group. Another drive time life coaching video. I'm going to call this one, Who Are You? Identity. One of the biggest things that a person has is their identity. Starting with their name, starting with their particular look, starting with how they carry themselves as a person. A guy can carry himself, being this big, rough, tough, macho guy. Big rippling muscles coming out of his shirt and the popping pecs. Or he could be somewhat a bit more subdued, like an average Joe, average height, average weight. Think of some of your neighbors, 5'10", 175 pounds, regular guy. And as for the lovely ladies out there, they could be any shape, any size. Identity. So many of us have had our identities forced upon us by our families, by our schools, by society at large. A lot of these things do touch on race, gender, sexual orientation, things of that nature. Identity is a big deal. I'm going to ask you something, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to ask all of you something. Who do you say that you are? Nice way of saying, who are you? Now, with these things I have laid out so far within the 2.5 minutes, hopefully some of you are thinking right now. Some of you have this image in your head of what may have been, what could have been, versus what is. Instead of being someone who is having life happen to them and allowing life to happen to them, maybe you're in the middle of a different season. You're in the middle of changing it up. You're in the middle of making that change and getting somewhere in life. That's a lot of work, changing everything about yourself. That's a lot of work, becoming greater. That's a lot of work. It's not fun. It's not sexy. It is what it is, though. I believe it's safe to say on a macro level of our world today, not just America, not just Europe, not just Australia, not just the West, but the entire world in general. There's so much trauma built up over the years. The pandemic didn't make it any better. I'm gonna ask you, who are you? Who do you say that you are? Can you present a convincing argument, a convincing anything to this world? Excuse me. Can you present an argument as to why they should respect anything that you're saying? Can you present a convincing appeal. That's to tell them, this is who I am. This is me. I don't want anything to do with that. Are you going to be able to do it? I ask these questions because I want all of you to start thinking. I want you all to be cognizant on just how important identity is and who you say you are. That stuff matters. It matters a great deal. It matters so much that this whole identity thing, that you go somewhere and you're known by what you wear, how you present yourself to the world, how you walk and how you talk. That is how important identity is. Identity is important because it lets the world know, in a greater sense, who they can, who they can deal with, who they can talk to, who they're not going to talk to, who they are going to treat nice, and who they're going to treat less than nice. Identity. It is so important to have one. It is so important to have an identity that stands out from the rest. Not so much simply for fair treatment, but this is how you and your progeny, your seed, is going to be remembered throughout time. And yes, identity can also be brought up with your name. Several names have very, very pointed meanings. The loss of identity, which seems to be going on in this world today, in the face of conformity. Not that conformity is a bad thing, because it isn't. Identity, the loss of it, can lead to chaos. It can lead to tragedy. Excuse me again. When you're walking in this life, when you're doing the things that you have set out to do with your life's work, that's another source of identity. So many of us, men, women, or whatever else alike, find meaning, find identity. They find themselves in their occupations. We've all met them, whether they were football players or whether they were contractors, construction workers. There's a certain set of behaviors and things that they do and how they walk, how they talk, that goes along with it. But to go round robin, back to my original question, who are you? Who do you say that you are? Are you going to allow the world to tell you who you are? Or are you going to put it out there that I'm this, 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 and this? So don't even try it. In closing, I must tell you all that no matter any stages of development, your identity must remain paramount. That you don't get lost in the shuffle. That you're not being destroyed. That you're not having any adverse reactions to life. Because identity is more than just what's on an ID card. It is ingrained and baked into every fiber of your being. Identity may be the way forward for most. Who do you say that you are? What's in the name that has been penned and lives throughout the ages? What's in the name by the bard William Shakespeare? And as we all know, a whole hell of a lot. Okay, if you want some one-on-one coaching, where it's personal training, strength and conditioning coaching, life coaching like you're getting here, and nutritional coaching, you know what to do. Hit me up on social media. Email me, DM me. People, please like and share the video. You never know who needs these messages. The life you save may very well be your own. Talk to you later.